Hello, my name is Sleepy. I'm a VTuber who does a lot of variety streams on Twitch, but today is new comic book day, so let's see what I got. So, I haven't seen any VTubers make comic book content, specifically weekly haul content, and I wanted to give it a shot. I recently got back into collecting after a 4 or 5 year break, and I've only been back into collecting since October of this year. So I've been doing a lot of catch up and buying back issues, but I'll also be going over things like my weekly polls, things that I just pick up in my local comic book stores that I think I'd like or enjoy, and also things I'm interested in that are coming out. So yeah, let's get into my weekly polls this week. So I do have my stack of comic books next to me that I got this week. I will be popping up the covers, the variant covers, and the pricing for all of them up on screen. For my poll list this week, sadly I had no DC. There was only Marvel and Image, but we will start with Image. The one Image comic I had on my pull list this week was Exquisite Corpses number 7. I did not get a variant for this issue, and the price was $4.99 US. I do really love this series. The best way I can describe it would be a mix of The Purge and Hunger Games put together. The basic premise is that every 5 years on Halloween, the wealthiest families in America play a game. They send the 12 deadliest killers in the world into a small town with the simple goal of the last killer standing wins. The town gets completely shut off from the outside world, and they have no idea what's happening until it starts happening. I really do recommend this issue if you like stuff like this. The first issue grabbed my attention and had some very cool killer introduction pages. So yeah, if you like it, grab it. Moving on to my Marvel pulls for this week, I got the all-new Spider-Gwen Ghost Spider issue number 4. I did not get a variant cover, sadly, as I really wanted the Street First edition, but my local comic book store did not have it, and I will have to get it another time. This issue was $3.99 USD. I'm fairly new to reading Spider-Gwen and Ghost Spider, so I will admit that the first issue in this run was not super new reader friendly. I struggled a little bit with piecing stuff together in the first issue, but after that, the pacing started to pick up in issue number 3. I have not read this issue number 4 yet, as I picked up the comics today and started filming after, but I will continue to talk about the series as I pick them up and updating my reviews for them. A little rundown on this series: it takes place after Gwen Stacy is relocated to Earth 616 with a new suit and cosmic cube power abilities. She adopts the name Ghost Spider and works to rebuild her relationship with her father in a murder mystery style story. The next Marvel issue I got is The Amazing Spider-Man 2025 issue 16. I did not get a variant cover for this, and the issue cost me $4.99 USD. I've only read up to issue 6 on this, as I was missing an issue for a long time, but I can finally catch up. This is the next era of The Amazing Spider-Man. It features a lot of classic characters such as Rhino, Norman Osborn, and Black Cat. I do adore this series. I think the highlight for me so far has been the art, and I'm really looking forward to it continuing. So those are the 3 issues on my pull list when I walked into my comic book store on Wednesday this week, and I have walked out with 4 additional series on my pull list now. The first series I added to my pull list was Chip Zdarsky's Captain America run. I grabbed issues 3, 4, and 5, which means I'm sadly missing issues 1 and 2 and can't start reading the series yet. But for issues 3 and 4, I got the normal A covers, which were $4.99 USD each. And for issue 5, I did manage to get the Street Burst variant for $4.99 as well. I was very excited about that. I have not read this series yet, as I'm missing the first 2, obviously, but I'm a huge fan of Chip Zdarsky's work, and I know he's writing the next big Marvel event called Armageddon, which is releasing in, I believe, February of next year, and I wanted to pick this up just in case it ties in, and also just because I love Chip Zdarsky's work. Also, if you're new to comics and like Daredevil by any chance, Zdarsky has a wonderful Daredevil run that I would highly recommend. The next issue I added to my pull list is Punisher's Red Band series. This is another series I really don't have much to say on because I just picked up the series today. I believe this is going to be a 5-issue mini-series. The third issue just came out today on November 20th, and I picked up issues 1, 2, and 3, with 3 being a variant cover. All 3 issues were $4.99 USD. I haven't started the series as I just got it, but I do plan on picking up the entire mini-series and reading it as soon as possible. The next issue I added to my pull list, and probably one of my most anticipated ones, is Die Loaded by Image Comics. I had no idea this comic was actually coming out. I just happened to see the cover at my local comic shop, picked it up, read the little blurb on the inside, really liked the sound and the look of it. It kind of reminded me of Stranger Things, but maybe a bit more grown up. I'll insert the little blurb on screen and also read it in a moment. This issue was $3.99. And if you haven't read any Image comics, I'd highly recommend them. They've kind of been popping off lately with things like Exquisite Corpses, Invisible Man, Die Loaded, Everything Dead and Dying, and even news from the Fallout. There's so many more too, but they've been doing a great job with their series. The blurb on the inside of Die Reloaded was, in 1991, 6 teenagers sat down to play a role-playing game. They disappeared. A few years later, 5 returned, traumatized. In 2018, they were taken again. The game is a path to another world. They learned that the game, Die, was the lure of an immoral god beyond time and space. They learned we could never be free of it as long as we dreamed. They learned they created it. They learned they could survive it. 5 did, returning to a pandemic-struck world in 2020. 1 didn't. The next issue I got isn't technically a pull list, as both issues are out, so there is no more pulling for it, but it is the Marvel DC crossover between Batman and Deadpool. For those of you who don't know, there are 2 of them. There is Deadpool Batman, which came out in September of this year, and then there's Batman Deadpool, which came out on November 20th of this year. I did miss out on getting Deadpool Batman in September, which means I need to get that before I can read the one that just came out on November 20th, but I do look forward to it. I did get a variant cover for this, and I sadly only got one. These comics have tons of variant covers with tons of Marvel and DC characters paired up, but they are pretty pricey, about $9 per variant, and then some of the variants can go for $10 or $11, so they're kind of up there. I might grab some more before they get very expensive, but for now I just grabbed the one. And last but not least, the final run added to my pull list is Absolute Superman. I did pick up all 13 issues of this in the span of a week, so I will just flash the covers up on screen and the prices instead of sitting here talking about them one by one. I know I'm late to getting into this series, but I picked up the first trade paperback about a week ago, and I read the entire thing and loved it so much that I decided to collect all the singles, which is similar to what I did for Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, and Ultimate Spider-Man. I picked up all of their trades and hardcovers first, loved them so much, and decided to buy the singles so I could keep up. I do hope I can get my hands on the Absolute Martian Manhunter hardcover or trade paperback, though I do have all the singles as well. I just like having both forms of media. I just like collecting. All of the art and storytelling in the Absolutes and the Ultimate titles have been amazing. These are what single-handedly brought me back into collecting comics. They were what brought all of my hype back to this hobby, and I do hope that they continue doing them for some foreseeable future, even though I do know that the Ultimate Universe is coming to an end soon. But yeah, I really love them, and I think you guys should give them a shot. And that's everything for this week. I do really hope you guys enjoyed. I know it's not the most exciting video in the world, but I really do love talking about comics, and I just wanted to share my interest and see if I could get anyone else interested in comics. If you want to see more stuff like this, please do let me know. I am open to feedback if you guys don't want to see stuff like this. If you want more information about the comic books I'm talking about, anything like that, I am very open to improving on this content if you guys want to see more. Other than that, I do stream 3 to 4 days a week over on Twitch, doing a lot of variety, a lot of Marvel Rivals, a lot of streams with friends. So if you want to come check me out over there, feel free. But other than that, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.